Well, it's great that's a lot of pressure. I'm going to try to just be that guy. Actually, I just found out when I got here today, Terrence and I have a lot more in common than I thought. We both grew up in the black church. And thank you for the 3 people that are paying attention today. It's very important. It's a lively crowd we have today. So very quickly, I got a couple things to share with you. My name is Doug Gorman, and I'm the Judge Executive of Warren County, Kentucky. Who doesn't presently live in Kentucky? Okay. Here, I'm going to just give you a little information. So if you don't live in Kentucky, you're like, Judge Executive. I have no law degree. I've driven past a couple law schools, some very big ones too, but I've never been to law school. I have no judicial powers, but here's the deal. Back from the 1700s on, the county judge ran the entire county, all of the budgeting, every parks and rec, sheriff, jail, all of those things, and was in charge of the judicial part of it, was over the circuit and district judges as well, and had some judicial powers, could change traffic, speeding tickets and things like that. In the mid-70s, we changed the Constitution in Kentucky, and they moved all the circuit and district judges to the judicial department and kept them there, and then had what usually is in a lot of states called a county executive in this side. And my take is there was a lot of older guys that said, hold on a second. We're going to lose the name judge in our title because a lot of states it's county executive. And so they made a compromise and said, we'll just make up a word, Judge Executive. Here I am. So I am the Judge Executive of Warren County, but the actual thing I do is I manage the affairs of the entire county. So 140,000 people. I'm going to share with you a quick story, and then we're going to talk a little bit about civic imagination, but I want you to think through this one. It's a true story from about 25 years ago, because I think it goes to the heart of what Terrence did such a great job of talking about what you have to do to make the type of community you want to have. And so United Airlines, about 25 years ago, was doing fantastic, probably the late 90s. Corporate headquarters in Chicago, Illinois, and had some lease things come up and things, and they started saying, we got to add 1,500 employees. These are like $100,000 a year jobs. So we're going to have this ginormous economic development investment. Well, if we're going to do that much, why don't we just take a look and see if there's somewhere else? I love Chicago, but it has a few issues. And maybe we should look around and see if we're going to spend this much money, billions of dollars, maybe we should check out the rest of the country and see what's out there. So they did. Now, they had to be by a major, so Bowling Green wasn't on the list. They have to be by a major airport, obviously, and some things like that. And they looked through the country, had economic development people looking and everything, and settled on either build, stay, and grow in Chicago, or move to Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Oklahoma City has a great airport, because it's a big economic development thing they're going to do. And so they went back and forth for about 7 months. Of course, the mayor and probably the county executive or judge executive all fired up about it from Oklahoma City. And everyone's rolling out the red carpet, doing all the things like this. They're kind of going back and forth. And the mayor of Oklahoma City gets a phone call one morning from the Wall Street Journal at 9 in the morning and says, just wanted to get a comment from you on what your thoughts are on United staying in Chicago. That is how he found out they weren't coming to Oklahoma City after 6 months. Of course, I don't know what he said. Immediately calls, no answer, calls, no answer, calls, no answer. Next day, he's livid, cannot believe it, because he had this great relationship with someone and didn't get a call. Next morning, flies to Chicago, gets up there at 7:45 in the morning and goes to United's corporate headquarters. They're having a big press conference. He'll be, I'm sorry, can't meet with you. I'm not leaving till I see the president. He stays there till 4:30 in the afternoon. The guy comes out absolutely flustered and apologizing. I cannot begin to tell you how sorry I am. We had these incentives we had to do. It took off on us. I wanted to call you, but we just didn't. So again, please accept my apologies. And so the mayor said, I've got to know. We did everything you asked us to do. And you chose to stay here. And the mayor said, and the head of United said, we did our due diligence. He says, but in the last 4 months, we've flown 300 of our employees and their spouses or significant others to spend a weekend in Oklahoma City. And this is how many said they would relocate to Oklahoma City. Every town in America, guess what, has roads, sheriff or police, jails, schools. All y'all have that, I'll bet. I'm sure you didn't get here by wagon trail over the grass fields. What every town in America doesn't have is to do things when you're not in school, not working, not in jail, not other things you're doing, and it's those quality of life things. But what I've found out is those don't just happen. The New York Symphony didn't just happen. Just a couple guys got together and started playing music. This innovation center doesn't just happen. And so for me, I came to Bowling Green in 1981, shockingly, to play soccer at Western Kentucky University. And it was back when we had a real university and had a men's soccer program. You can tell Caboni, I don't care. I tell him all the time when I see him that. But anyways, so I wasn't from Bowling Green, came here and decided to do things. But my father had always told me things. My father was pretty involved in his communities and was in plant management. But he always said, if you want to live in a great town, you have to do something about it. And the thing I was excited about coming here today and then hearing Terrence speak and others speak was about, you talk about preaching to the choir. Here's a group of people that are making a commitment because they want to make a difference. And they want to have that. And so I just took office in January. I ran last year. I've been a magistrate. I've been in the private sector. I owned my own company for 30 years and then sold it. And I've volunteered and done a lot of things in the community and things like that. And we've got a great thing. And there's so many thousands of people in this great community that do things like that every day. So it's definitely never been about me or anything like that. It's been about all of us. But when I got in office, started talking with Sam and said, we have 140,000 people in Warren County today, 140,000. So last year when I was running for office, people asked, what's the biggest pressure you have? Well, we are going to be, by 2045, at 200,000 people. And I would tell people last year, it's not really that big of a deal. We're just adding another city of Bowling Green in the next 25 years. And when you think about that, though, and the issues that come with it, we don't get to just have more ice cream shops. That's not the growth. You get the other stuff that comes with it. And so then it becomes, if we know that we have this growth coming, and we're very blessed, we're the fastest growing city and county in Kentucky for a lot of reasons. But it is what it is. We are growing. We're on fire. We have, again, economic development out the wazoo going crazy, but people want to live here. I did speak with Miranda. She says a beautiful thing. I will tell you something. I'll jump all over the place. I am the firm believer in A, silencing your cell phones. B, also, I am kidding. Thank you for coming today. No, I'm kidding. You should know. If you can't have fun in life, there's no need living life. But I'm playing about that a little bit. But I'm a kind of person, so there's two types of people in the world. That's it. It's not about your skin color, your creed, any of that crap. There's two types of people in the world. And I want to be around one type a whole lot, and the other type not very much. Decent and not decent. That's it. Stop buying into all this bull crap about separating things and this group, and give me a break. and stop dealing with Washington, D.C. and all the crap's going on there. How does that really, in the most part, affect you? It doesn't. What your community, that's what you can control. That's the difference you can make. And so we had this growth coming, so I talked to Sam, said, are we just going to let it happen to us? Or are we going to try to affect the type of growth that we want so that our children and grandchildren and loved ones can be in that type of decent community? And so I got with Sam, and he introduced me to Sangita, and we have a project called Bowling Green 2050. And Bowling Green 2050 is about this growth, but we got 50 people together in June from all walks of life. The only thing is you got to come with an opinion, you got to be able to speak it, you got to tell why it's important to you for this growth. And we had a great civic imagination event that took off. Now, from that, our next steps are what are we going to do with it, but the amount of information we got from talking to 50 different people of what do they think, it is amazing that everyone was kind of like on the same page for growth and trajectory, but they had different ideas of how to get there. But that's great as well. So what I want to share with you is the only way, there's only one way you're going to be around people you want to be around, with people that make a difference, with communities that make a difference. It's up to you. And Terrence said it better than I could ever say it. But your opportunities are lying in front of you. Now, what you have to do as well is you got to find other people that want to do it as well. We talked about anxiety and things like that. He talked about it's interesting when you know about that. I'm a person that knows myself very, very well. When I get, I'm telling you, it's the truth. When I get stressed and everything, I get lactic acid buildup in my thighs. Now, it might sound crazy to you, but it's the warning sign for me that I got way too much going on, like right now. No, I don't have right now. But you should know those things. Well, what if you had, though, not 90 people in your community that were involved, but you had 300 people in your community involved? And what if you had more people? And so your job is not to just take this back to your community. Your job is to infect other people with civic responsibility. Because at the end of the day, the type of community that you're going to have is up to you. The type of things you'll put up with, up to you. And so all I would do is encourage you to continue to be involved, continue to ask questions, continue to collaborate. We have such a diverse group here of different people thinking different things and all the things like that. And I love that because it's how you can find it. Now, sometimes someone's going to say something to you and you're going to say, I've never thought of it from that perspective before because I can't get my head that far up my rear end. You can take that with you, please. I have to do that sometimes. I'm like, yeah, we're not going to build a 6-story jail. But I have learned that in the last 8 months. It is amazing the opinions that I get to hear. No, most of them are very good. But really, though, someone sharing something with you means something because they trust your ability to maybe make a difference and think about things. And what I want to share with you today is anything you're doing and anything you can do on the civic imagination is fantastic. You have to have that. No one person has the ideas. I'll promise you that. I'm not that. Just to be quite honest with you, I get around so many people, these MIT graduates and stuff. This dude was so fortunate. All I wanted was a piece of paper that said I graduated. I had a 3.7 GPA. Any of my 2 semesters combined together, when you added them up, it was about a 3.7. I literally, all I wanted was that. But what I've been successful in is just surrounding myself with a lot of smart people. And if I can collaborate with them, learn from them, always look for that, we'll have a better society. I just think it's important that you actually physically and mentally do something about it. You sit back and let other people do it, we have no chance in this country, none. And for us, I just want Bowling Green and Warren County to be the best it can be. Then it can kind of spread out. There is nothing Doug Gorman can do about some issue in San Diego, California. I can't do anything about that, nor can anyone here. But I can do something about Bowling Green and Warren County, and then maybe it spreads to the next county, and the next county, and the next county. So all I can tell you is just do the best you can in your own community. I appreciate the opportunity to be here with everyone today. It really means a lot to me. I'm honored that especially the ones that came from out of Bowling Green and Warren County came here to learn from great people. Buddy and Sam, our county is focusing on this facility right here for the future. I'm going to say something very quickly and then I'll go off the stage. We've been very fortunate economically in Bowling Green and Warren County because we have a diverse economy. You know, some places grew big and maybe a Pittsburgh or something with steel and things, and it's fantastic when people are buying, not so good when it doesn't do it. Our diversity of economy means when the stuff hits the fan and we have inflation and other things like this, it doesn't hurt us as bad because we have so many people doing it. But what that takes is innovative people like Buddy and like Sam and Amanda and others who want to roll up their sleeves and do the best thing for that. So last thing I'll leave you with, it's okay to be selfish. It's one of the greatest motivators in the world. Selfish about your life, selfish about your children and grandchildren's life, selfish about the people you love. It's okay. Because if you do things for them, but that helps the rest of your community, you're in a lot better place. I appreciate the opportunity to be here. If I can ever do something for you or whatever, for some of you, you'll find out we're getting ready to release some of the things from our BG 2050 that Sangeeta and Sam worked on, and our next steps will be in September, and we'll have more of that. We're going to continue having those dialogues so that we can craft the community that we want to have with this growth coming. So again, thank you so very much for coming here. I appreciate the opportunity to be here, and someone else